Hi, I'm Jacki, and I'm addicted to Survivor.
Hi, I'm Molly, and I'm addicted to Survivor.
And now the latest scourge on television, reality TV.
I'm not so addicted to this season, though.
Neither am I.
I'm kind of bored at most of it, but I think there's more likable people than unlikable people, which is nice. But the people that are unlikable are extremely unlikable, and I just yell at the screen the entire time they're on screen.
Shut up, Emily.
I like Emily, but
I know.
But shut up, Sifu, and shut the fuck up, Bruce.
Yeah, I know. I think he's playing his own character. You know what I mean?
Yes, he is not being himself, but he's pretending to be himself.
He seems like the kind of guy that talks to himself in the mirror and, talks to himself as he's doing things around his house.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so right off the bat, last week's departure.
Yes.
Sean. Right. So watching some of his interviews, did you see that he said that he found a clue during the swap?
I thought that it was this week's dude, Brando, that found that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I did see that, and I'm dying to know what it was.
Well, he didn't even look at it. Said he didn't have an opportunity to look at it, which, okay, I guess I kind of get from a production standpoint, but I didn't think that they would take something away from him. I guess if it, could only be used.
Yeah, right, if it expired.
That's kind of why would they think that somebody would open it right there in front of everybody?
They would have I think it would have been a different story if they put an expiration date on the outside, like expires before we leave this beach or some shit like that.
Like an Alice in Wonderland, eat me now.
Mm-hmm. They needed some kind of instruction on, that it wasn't just something to take back to camp, because they know people take things back to camp and open them secretly.
Make it look like a time bomb. So they all get back to camp, and
yes,
Sifu is trying to play Nancy Drew,
and Dee is, I'm not ready to talk about that right now.
Oh, she was an Oscar winner for sure.
Oh my God, she is so calm, cool, and collected. I like her more and more every episode.
Exactly. And then Jay didn't say anything. She doesn't mind falling on her sword for this.
Yeah.
She thinks it's no big deal to not, defend herself, which I think is a very strange way to play that.
It makes me really sad because I feel like that's probably just like her people pleaser tendencies kicking in.
I don't know.
It made me sad for her for sure. I feel like she deserves better.
He was still trying to Scooby-Doo it because nobody was budging.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what he's got cooked up in his mind.
And I love that he was so personal about it, that he kept hounding on who voted for him and just accepting it when everybody said Sean, but not questioning at all who voted for Dee.
Right. Exactly.
And Dee didn't give a fuck. Dee didn't give a fuck. And I loved that about her too. I like her a lot.
Well, I think she sussed out that it was Sean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She 100% figured it out.
Right. But she can't say I figured out who voted for me because I voted for you, MFer. So, I mean, the whole thing was, I didn't like the way that last week's tribal went. Of course, I didn't like the way that this week's tribal went.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. And it was kind of a non-scene because of that.
Yep.
Because I don't think that anything that they discussed as far as who voted for Sifu is going to matter at all.
No, I don't think it is either.
I think that was
Although
just drama
the
for drama's sake.
the only thing I can think of is maybe the editor's setting him up to be like the first emerge boot or something like that, like giving him enough story so it makes sense that multiple people would want to get him out. I don't know. I think that the editors have made him very unlikable.
Well, not as unlikable as other people, but they certainly haven't portrayed him as, somebody that you want to align with.
Yeah, for sure.
If he's going to freak out about one vote at one tribal, dude, there's very, very, very few survivors that get no votes.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, seriously.
So if you got one vote at one tribal and you didn't go home, just be happy.
Yeah, be fine with it. The one vote didn't matter that much.
Okay, so your boy falls over again.
Jake. But it was after Bruce bullied him into standing up by calling him basically a lazy piece of shit.
Yes.
Which was horrible. And
hello, Bruce.
I like the way that they're portraying these scenes with Jake. I'm not getting the sense that they're setting him up for a medevac at all. I think they're setting him up for some kind of story.
You're looking for an arc on that, right?
Mm-hmm. There's a reason for it because they've presented them in almost a comedic way. And I think with other players, they would have presented it like if it was a female player, I think they would have presented it much more seriously.
Well, they also gave him the backstory of the weight loss,
right,
and everything, but they didn't show any medical checkup.
Nope.
Which surely there was.
There has to have been.
Right. So why wouldn't you show it?
Exactly.
So it's going to come out later, that, oh, they checked on me both times, and cleared me. And then I died later in the season. I don't, there's some reason why and it can't just be for time. It has to be contributing some way towards the story that they didn't include that.
Yep, I agree. I don't know if it's like the people that he was with that took care of him when it happened, which have been Kendra the first time and Kelly the second time, and some kind of alliance that gets formed, or what. But I have liked Jake from day one. I don't want him to get medevaced, and I want to see good things come from him.
Yeah, because there's if there is indeed a medical issue, they wouldn't just do that as a haha, look at the dumb guy that fell down.
Exactly. Like even when he got up after he fainted, he looked at Bruce and said, "Aren't you going to laugh at me? I fell down."
Ugh. And
Bruce in that moment just felt so disingenuous, but Bruce in every moment just feels disingenuous. And it's a small chance, but Bruce, if you're listening, like it's okay to just be yourself, my friend. I'm sure you would present much better than this facade that you're presenting on the television show. Thank you. Okay, I took a lot of notes. Let's see, what did I write down?
So the next thing I have down is that Caleb is making too many relationships.
Yes, 100%. I had that written down too, but right before that, I have written down Katura and her idol hunting stick, which I thought was so funny because it would be perfectly natural to be walking through the woods with a stick no matter what, but she like just panicked and dropped it.
Yeah,
it was cute.
Stick, but again, Caleb is the one that went to her one-on-one and said, "Hey, I knew that what you were doing. I just wanted to alert you that we were coming so that you wouldn't get caught." And they're doing the high five. Yay, thank you for having my back. And I'm like, dude, Caleb, stop it. once everybody figures out that you're everybody's friend,
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yeah,
gonna be in
it's gonna come
trouble.
around and bite him in the ass for sure. But everything that he goes to other people with is improving their gameplay, and I think he's gonna really regret that in the end. Because
Well,
he's giving everybody tools to improve their own game at the expense of his.
and that's the salesman in him, though.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good gameplay from a social standpoint,
Yeah.
but can it last is the question.
I don't see it. I don't see it being sustainable at all, especially with merge coming up.
Well, because I don't know if he can be mean. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he can lie,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if he can be mean.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't know that he's got it in him to act to be like the mean that he needs to be.
Right.
But you know who does have the mean that he needs to be, who I hate, and that is Drew.
Oh, God.
I think Drew was so shitty to Brando when they were talking about Pokemon. Like, I felt like Brando was trying to have a legitimate moment with him, and Drew was just like, "Oh, I just pay hackers to do that part for me." He was
Well,
so dismissive and so shitty.
it was dismissive of him also to, you know, basically look at Brando and say, "Oh, Nerd Alliance, yeah, no thanks."
Yeah, because okay, I've been thinking about this because in my mind, and I'm sure your mind and other viewers' minds, Drew is obviously a nerd, but I don't think in Drew's mind that he's a nerd. I think in Drew's mind he is like some kind of handsome celebrity type of person.
No,
Like he has a complex.
no, I don't agree with you because he wants him and Austin to be JT and Steven, right?
I can see that.
So, he just, for tribal reasons, he didn't want to align with Brando. But the thing that I found weird about that whole conversation is they were having that whole conversation right there in front of Emily.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew had the opportunity to turn to Emily and say, "Hey, what do you think about what he's saying?" Or to open it up to a group conversation. But
Yeah.
the way they were showing it as a one-on-one between those two, which normally doesn't happen in front of other people who are just sitting there whistling on the bench.
Yep.
So I think Drew made a mistake to not at least be receptive to what Brando was saying, even if he didn't have to accept what he was saying.
Yeah. I think Drew fumbled a lot this episode, and he's just unlikable. And I also think he doesn't have a clear sense of who he actually is quite
Oh,
yet.
I agree.
And he's mine in the pool that we're a part of, and I just want him to go home. I happily give up my money because my other
Napoleon
person is
Dynamite.
Katura, and I really think like she's got legs.
I agree.
I love her. I hated Sifu's stupid fake idol.
That was the dumbest looking thing. That looked like a child's kindergarten project.
Yeah, it doesn't even look good. He's not going to be able to sell it because I feel like he's going to Jimmy Fallon his way through it and just like giggle the whole time. He annoys me. It's the coach. It's the coach in him. I know.
Yeah, but haven't they really haven't seen this season's idols yet, have they?
Did anybody see Sabiyah's?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think that anybody has seen an idol yet.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So if you're gonna make a fake one, at least make it before anybody knows what it looks like.
Yeah, true.
But you don't make it out of scraps of thread, for God's sake.
No, I mean, what is he thinking? He's not, or he's overthinking.
But they think he has an idol anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't remember why they think that.
Because at the very beginning, all he did was go hunt for idols.
So I understand that they want to try to flush this supposed idol.
Hmm.
I don't see him pulling it out at tribal because he knows it's fake.
Yeah.
So what's he going to use it for?
I don't know. I don't know. Unless he's going to like hide it in the hopes that somebody else finds it. But if somebody else finds it, they'll be like, what is this trash somebody left here?
No, they're going to pick it up and it's going to fall apart.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
So we get to the challenge.
Yes.
Which I liked it. And one of the main reasons why I liked it is because they were not breaking tiles.
Yes.
I can't stand when they break tiles.
I liked it, but at first I got very worried for my boy Jake because I thought that he was going to have to do the big obstacle part and like pass out or something. And I was very worried for Jake, but he was just the key boy and that was fine.
But that obstacle part looks so fun. I want to climb all over that thing.
It did look fun. And some people just like busted through it.
Right.
Like so fast. Like
I
D.
think they paid more attention to the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's far more, of course, than they show us on TV. They probably have somebody run through it so that you can watch them.
Yeah, yeah.
There were other people that were going through that obstacle and they were trying to figure out, okay, do I go up or go down here? Do I do that? So they weren't paying attention.
Yeah, you could tell who paid attention to the correct direction to go for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And it made me think, when is the last time that they've had like head-to-head individual challenges for like immunity or reward in US Survivor? I don't remember seeing them for a while.
Head to head.
Yeah, like the competitive ones, like you're on the log and one person has to knock another off and they score a point for the team.
Yeah, I haven't seen one of those in a while.
But they do them on Australian Survivor and they're great. So I wonder why US Survivor has gotten away from them.
Because they're not as good as Australian Survivor.
100% true. 100%
so we get down to the fact that this is not just for immunity, but it's also for reward.
Yes.
And it's fish.
10 fish for the first tribe that finishes and 5 fish for the second tribe. And they look like a really good fish. But it also makes me wonder, how do they keep them fresh? Or do they just go back and cook them all at once? How does it work?
I don't know, but I did hear on a podcast that in Survivor 44, there was a fish reward like this.
Yes.
And Jonathan was cleaning the fish. There was a clue hidden inside one of the fish. But
oh
when
my goodness.
Cleaning the fish, he threw that part away. So supposedly Jeff had said on that podcast for that season that they were going to bring it back.
Ooh.
So,
I wonder if the same thing happened again.
I don't know. So there might be a clue in a fishy.
That would be so funny. Ugh. That's gross. I would not want to be that person. That would be one immunity clue I would not find. For sure.
Why? Fishy too?
I don't like fishies. I like eating them. That's what I had for dinner. I had fish and chips tonight. We went to a place and I ordered unlimited fish and chips because that's what they had for their special tonight. But I only got one order of it because that's a lot.
They sell you unlimited description. Okay, so another thing that some podcasters have noticed is they're focusing a lot on Kelly for no real reason.
Yes, I have noticed that as well. She's gotten a lot of confessionals.
Right.
And she comes off really well so far, too. Like, there hasn't really been anything negative about her. Nobody's really complained about her.
Because she hasn't had to go through any stress. I mean, for God's sake, everybody else is going to back-to-back tribals, and stuff like that. Oh, and then so after the challenge, when they are deciding who's going to go on the journey,
Yes.
these journeys make no sense to me.
I'm so tired of them. Like, I would so much rather see a traditional reward challenge than this journey for an individual benefit shit. I am so tired of it. And I know this is jumping ahead a little bit. Those sandwiches look like trash.
Well, they've probably been sitting out there for a couple of hours.
And the orange juice was all separated. Like, none of it looked appetizing.
If you're starving, that looked awesome. And they should have all eaten it because
Yeah.
the amulets are ridiculous. It's like you have to, it's like you have to put those things together as a puzzle as the game goes on
Mm-hmm.
in order for them to have more value. But you can't predict who's going where and who. I mean, for all you know, somebody's going to give their amulet to somebody else.
The only person I think that has the brain power to pull it off, and I hate saying this, is Austin.
And
I
he
think,
didn't even want it.
yeah, but I think he's going to be able to figure out how to make it work because he is probably the most well-placed person in the game right now when you think about it.
He is, and he's got a great attitude, and he's got the athleticism,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. But I don't think they've ever been able to make these amulet things work on any season the way that the producers want them to work.
Yeah, and it's infuriating that they keep trying. Same with the shot in the dark. Like, I feel like they've been focusing on shot in the dark so much this season. It better pay off. Like, it needs to pay off, or they just need to stop trying. I'm so tired of hearing about it.
No, I think it's funny that they keep being passed off like a hot potato. Like, I don't want
it's
this
a bargaining tool now.
I don't want this damn thing. Take it. Yeah, I shot in the dark has only worked once.
Yeah. And it's I don't know, it's just not, it's like an anticlimactic thing.
Yeah, it's like an empty treasure.
Yep, I don't like it. It's just so overcomplicated now. Like, you never know who has anything at any given time, or even what anything is by whatever name they call it. Like, I forget what the goodwill advantage is every single time.
Well, then who was it that was stacking at tribal council? You know, I'm going to play this Uno card and
Austin.
that Uno card. Right. You know, so he's got so many cards in his pocket.
Yeah.
You know, like reverse one, you know, draw two.
He did play that well, though. And he played it in a way that, like, nobody needs to know that he did it, or that he had that advantage or anything.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him keep playing. And I also wrote down about the immunity challenge that I think that Kendra is going to be a surprise standout when we get to individual immunity for some reason.
I put Kendra on the same level that I put Bruce, to be honest with you.
Oh, that makes me sad.
I know, I'm sure it is. But she just seems to me like she's being kooky just for show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, last season we had Carolyn who had her own quirks.
Oh, God, I loved Carolyn.
Right. But Kendra just seems to be, you know, let me cross my eyes and stick my tongue out because I think it's funny.
I think that I can see that because I think that there's a clear shift in when she is comfortable with somebody and you feel like she's performing like she's a bartender a little bit. Like when she was with Brando and they were talking, I felt like a really sincere vibe from her. But a lot of time when she's with the full tribe or like a a challenge or something, I feel like she's kind of like bartender Kendra and not really herself.
Right. She's trying to be funny. Hey, let me get some camera time. And it rubs me the wrong way. She's just performing.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's disingenuous.
And then, so we're at tribal council now, which was fine. It was fine.
It was blah.
Yeah. I mean, there's really only been one good tribal council this season, unless you count people quitting good, which I do not.
No.
People quitting is like anticlimactic because it's not really gameplay. It's just a thing that happens because somebody couldn't hack it.
Well, this tribal, it wasn't like, okay, well, I guess you're it, tag, bye. I can understand why they did it, but Brando wasn't going anywhere anyway. It's like it's almost, short of him approaching Drew for a nerd alliance, he just didn't seem to have the initiative to do anything.
Yeah. He was just like scenery. He was an NPC in the game of Survivor.
Exactly. And even in his one of the exit interviews that I saw with him, he was talking about, oh, I should have done this and I should have made that relationship and I should have, stuck my neck out.
I should have opened the thing at the thing.
Oh, I don't blame him for that one though.
It's so sad that when the most exciting thing that happened to you in the game didn't get shown on camera.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but then again, you look at anybody that was on that map when they swapped tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Name one person that would have opened it.
I feel like Kendra probably fucking would have.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think she's got much of a poker face.
Yeah, but it's almost like you find a beware advantage and you don't know if you want to pick it up or not, right?
Yeah.
So since you don't know what's inside that scroll, you don't know, okay, do I open this in public or private? Because this might out me as a target if I open it up in public.
Yeah, like I feel like a normal person would think that way, but I don't think that she would.
Yeah, she's not normal, all right.
No. You know what, though? I feel like this is so rushed. I can't believe we're at the merge already. It feels so rushed. I do not like these like 25-day seasons or whatever they're on right now. I don't like it.
Yeah, but it's not. If previous seasons have told us anything, it's not a true merge anyway.
What do you mean?
It's they're merged, but it's an earn the merge kind of thing. They're merged, but they're not merged.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
Another twist unnecessarily.
Exactly. And I don't know why they do that either, because either merge them or not. We're either one or we're separate.
I hope they make them all go to the Lulu Beach.
Why?
Because that's the one that has the least stuff.
Yeah, but isn't there one where they still haven't found found the advantage?
I think Bello, they haven't found the advantage yet.
Right.
I want to know what the mechanics is for that one. Like, I want to know what the trick is for that one. Because there was the puzzle, there was the rope. So what's that one going to be? Maybe we'll never find out.
It's like a game of Clue or Go Fish or something. I want just one smart person to start going up to everybody and going, okay, what do you got? What'd you find?
Okay, so who is your pick for the winner? Is it still Mr. Caleb?
You know what? I got to stick with Caleb because he's playing a great game. He's got his athleticism. I would lean towards Austin, but you know, Caleb has been able to establish relationships with far more people than Austin has.
Yeah, but Austin, like I considered switching to Austin because Austin has done his fair share of relationships, one of them being Caleb. I don't know. I did switch this week. I'm switching back to Jake, and it's because I was a last minute switch to like in between the time I watched the episode while I was smoking. I made this switch, and it's because of an interview I wrote with Jeff Probst where he said that Jake's origin story was one of his favorite ever on the show.
Oh my God.
You say origin story, that means to me that he is destined for big things. And when you think about it, he's kind of got a little bit of Boston Rob vibes. I don't know. I switched back to Jake this week. That's where I am.
Who has Jake established a relationship with?
I don't know. Kendra, Kelly, when he fainted. Everybody seems to like him. I don't know. He just seems likable. I got good vibes. I'm going. That's where I'm going this week. I don't always use logic.
If he gets to the end and gets a sympathy vote, I'm going to throw my TV out the window.
Maybe he's good. Maybe, like Jeff said, his origin story. So maybe he's got some brilliant gameplay coming. You don't know.
Oh boy.
I'm excited to see it. It might just be an origin story to a medevac. I mean, let's be fair, but a girl can dream. All right. I've been Jackie.
I've been Molly.
Stay tuned.